Thank you, Robert. We are speaking on this chapter right now in Science of Mind textbook, and the passage today is about nerves. And the nerve of some people. You offer them 5 minutes. But you give a ministerial candidate an opportunity, and they just want to, they want to go full out. They want to try all of their skills and all of their talents. And didn't he do a wonderful job? Yes. So right away, let me talk about my sleeves here, because so many people have come up today and said, "Can I help you with your sleeve? Do you need them buttoned?" And I said, well, no, because it's part of my props. I need to do this. So when we go to Asilomar, and I'm going to speak a little bit about Asilomar today, and I know it's a little bit more than the title of my talk, which says that my vibrations attract to me. But as we go through this, you'll begin to see how the vibration in which I have been in through this entire week has attracted to me the good and the wonderful and the joy and the experience that I'm at. So as we arrived, there is a ritual that is played out at the conference in order for us to come together, to be interwoven, to be interconnected. For we have 2 times a year specifically that the organization called Centers for Spiritual Living comes together. And the individuals and the centers and all of the members of this larger organization have an opportunity to intermingle and to work through some of the principles, some of the laws, some of the messages, some of the philosophy that we are working on. Now, one of them, which is typically held in February, is geared towards more of our business meeting. It's going to be in Vancouver this year, and trust me, the weather's going to be beautiful. I know that it is. But that's sort of our business meeting when we come together, and if there's any business that needs to take place in the organization, we do it there. The summer conference is like our summer camp for adults, even though there are children and there are teens and there are young adults. There are also a great deal number of adults, so it's our time to be in summer camp, and the grounds of Asilomar are absolutely beautiful. It is a historical site. It is on the beach in Monterey Bay. It was originally developed and built to be the Girl Scout camp, and the architect was designed by the woman who also designed Hearst Castle. So it has some very significance to it, and it's very rustic. The rooms have no TVs. This year they had Wi-Fi for most of the rooms, but if you were on the far edges of the campus, you may not have been able to tap into that. But they are working to do some upgrading in the facilities. But you understand that this is several acres of a conference ground that is meant to be a retreat. You can walk to the beach. There's a boardwalk. There's a lot of sand dunes there. There's a lot of nature, and the animals, the deer that live in and around there will walk through periodically throughout the day. The raccoons come out at night, so if you've left anything out, they're in search of that. So in that way, it's a beautiful place. It's an opportunity to leave the desert, to spend a week where the high temperature, I think, was 62. It was the coastal cloud overcover, a bit chilly, but refreshing, and so wonderful to be back in the desert, to be back in the heat. I'm really, so I loved it, and I really, really loved this. And so we had an opportunity to do this ritual that began with some threads. So there were balls of yarn, that were introduced each day. Each day had a different color because every day had a different theme. Every day had a different meaning. And they would take these balls of yarn and pass them out. The first night, as we were sitting in a group like this of like 900 people, the balls of yarn are going in every direction, and so we were all interconnected. We were all interwoven. We were all tied together. And then at the end of the evening, we broke off, snipped off whatever you needed to do in order to have your piece of yarn. And you were encouraged to take enough that you could snip off a piece for somebody who maybe arrived later or did not go to the opening session and needed a little piece, and they had some in the back of the hall. And so throughout the week we had all of these yarns, that stories that we brought together. And whenever you go to summer camp, you know you have to come back and do show and tell. So this is why I left my sleeves open, so I could show and tell. One of the workshops that I attended is where I received this wristband. And the band was to remind us that, you know, we spend a lot of time during our day complaining. In some ways, very subtle, we don't know it. Even in that place where somebody's kind of complaining in our presence and we agree with them, so we too are complaining. And the intention was that whenever you caught yourself, because we were invited to be mindful and conscious throughout the week of what we were speaking, the words that we were saying, the thoughts that were behind them, because see, that's your vibration. What you're thinking, what you're saying is your vibration. And your vibration is what's attracting to you a like vibration. Now you can label that good, bad, or indifferent, but the vibration is what you're attracting to you. And if it's not serving you, you might want to look at your vibration to see if you want to change it. So when you caught yourself complaining, you were to remove the wristband and put it on the other wristband. And keep doing that every time you found yourself in a complaint or agreeing with somebody in a complaint. I've decided to just leave it here because it goes back and forth so much that it was just easier this way. It was like lightning speed, you know, I could just do this and it was there. But I began to work at that, and I began to realize the importance of being in that place of mindfulness to know what my vibration was. To be able to be centered and anchored in the awareness that I have a vibration that is going on. And my vibration is what's attracting to me the vibrations of others. Now, musicians get this. They get this very deeply. If you are a part of an orchestra, you know that if you're over here and your instrument is vibrating at a certain way, a certain decibel or however they determine that if it's not in harmony with the vibration of all of the other instruments, then it really sounds out of place. And it becomes the outcast, and it's the sore spot, or it's the nerve ending that grates upon everybody, and you want to bring your instrument into vibration with the rest of them so that there's a harmonious sound that is coming out of this musical instrument called the orchestra or a small band or however it is done. So do you get that picture? Do you see that, how the vibration works? I'm popping. So let me slow down a little bit. Let me bring my vibration into a place that begins to resonate with each and every one of you. Robert was so eloquent in bringing us into that place of peace and relaxation and comfort. This is the purpose of the practitioner moment, is to create the atmosphere